Hello there everyone. Welcome to another online video class. For today's video, you are going to be with me as we learn together science with teacher Eva. Before we start, please get your notebook and pen and copy necessary information as we go along. Is that okay? Okay, very good. Now, let's start. For today's video, we are going to study about this system. Can anyone tell me what system is this? Can someone remember what type of system is this? Alright, this is the nervous system. Repeat after me. Nervous system. Your turn. Well done. We are going to talk about the nervous system in this video. When we talk about the nervous system, the most important cell that is involved in the function of the nervous system is what we call neuron. Neuron. Can you say it with me? Neuron. N-E-U-R-O-N. Neuron. The neuron is the most important cell that functions inside the nervous system. Our system is composed of a billion number of neurons inside the body. This is how our neuron looks like. Let's try to know the parts of our neuron. First, we have this tiny circle inside, and it's called nucleus. Nucleus. Next, cell body. Cell body. Doing good. Next one. How about these spikies over here? This is called, good job, dendrites. 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 Wait, there's more. Let's have this part. The red long part over here. What do you think is this? Good job. It's the axon. Axon. Okay, let's go to the next one. How about the cover of the axon? What do you call the cover of the axon? Right, it's the myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. Doing great, guys. Next one. The next part is the one that covers or shields the axon. It's called the nodes, Schwann cells. Schwann cells. Alright, we're down to the second to the last part. The gaps between the Schwann cells are what we call the nodes of Ranvier. Nodes of Ranvier. Okay, down to the last part. What is this? It's the axon terminals. Axon terminals. Okay, let's say the parts again. Repeat after me, okay? Nucleus, nucleus. Dendrites, dendrites. Cell body, cell body. Axon, axon. Schwann cells, Schwann cells. Myelin sheath, myelin sheath. Nodes of Ranvier, nodes of Ranvier. Axon terminals, axon terminals. There you have it. These are the parts of the neuron, and these parts perform different functions so as to give a very good nervous system. Let's proceed. Because we have the neurons, we are able to smell, taste, feel, hear, and see. Because of it, we are able to run as fast as we can. We can also walk and play with other friends. That is how important neurons in the nervous system important. Now, let's move on to the largest part of our body, and that is the brain. Repeat after me, please. Say brain. Brain. Good job. This is how our brain looks like. In here, we wrote at least 4 of the functions of our brain. First, can you say it with me? Thoughts and emotions. Thoughts and emotions. The brain helps us to feel different kinds of emotions, and it allows us to think of whatever we can think of. Again, thoughts and emotions. Second function, we have movement of arms and legs. Movement of arms and legs. This means because we have the brain, we are able to move around and use both our arms and legs. Okay, that's the second function. Let's move on to the next one. The brain functions for memory and speech. Memory and speech. Because we have the brain, we are able to remember our name, remember our family's name, remember all the things that are happening to us. And because we have the brain, we are able to talk. Okay? Memory and speech. Memory and speech. And the last one. Our brain functions let other organs function in the body. Because we have the brain, most of our body organs function very well. Okay, there are different regions of the brain. Please repeat after me. Everybody say cerebellum. Cerebellum. Brainstem. Brainstem. Cerebrum. Cerebrum. Thalamus. Thalamus. Hypothalamus. Hypothalamus. One more time, your turn. Good job, everyone! Those are the different regions of our brain, and you will be able to see it on our next videos. Now, let's go to the next one. Here. This is how our brain looks like from the inside. In this part, where it is the biggest part of the brain, it's the cerebrum. We have the hypothalamus over here, brain stem, this brown here, cerebellum at the bottom, thalamus over here, and we also have the pituitary gland that functions and secretes hormones for our emotions. So just try to take a look in this picture and try to familiarize the different parts of our brain. Okay. As we all know, cerebrum is the largest region of our brain. And there we can see different lobes of the cerebrum. So in our brain, we have regions, and in cerebrum, we have lobes. Let's start with the first lobe. Okay, let's use this picture. Follow the arrow that shows on your screen. The arrow points to this blue-green part of the brain. What do you think is the name of this lobe? Okay, let me tell you. This lobe of the cerebrum is what we call frontal lobe. Frontal lobe. Can you say it by yourself? Good job! What is the frontal lobe for? First, frontal lobe is for motor control. It means we can do movements and actions because of the frontal lobe. We can also do problem solving. You can think well because you have the frontal lobe. Last, you can also have speech production. You can talk because in the frontal lobe you can see the Broca's area. Broca's area. So in here, we specified 3 functions of the frontal lobe: motor control, problem solving, and speech production. Okay, what is this again? Good job! Next, let's move on to the next lobe. Let's look at again this brain and follow the arrow on your screen. Where does the arrow pointing? Okay, the arrow points on the yellow portion of the brain. What do you think is the name of this lobe? It starts with the letter T. T. Any idea? Okay, it's the temporal lobe. Temporal lobe. Can you say it again by yourself? Right. This lobe functions for auditory perception. One more time. Auditory perception. That means you can hear because you have this lobe. You have the temporal lobe. Next, you can also have language comprehension. Language comprehension. You will know what you talk about because of this lobe. And you can find in this lobe the vernix area. Vernix area. And the last one, it functions for memory or information retrieval. You can remember. What is this? Temporal lobe. Very good. Next, let's move on to the third lobe. What do you think is the third lobe? Let's try to see. What do you think is the name of this purple colored lobe? Right, it is the parietal lobe. Parietal lobe. Your turn. Alright, this parietal lobe functions to sensory processing such as touch perception. You can feel, you can know what and who touched you because of the parietal lobe. Parietal lobe. Another function is for body orientation and sensory discrimination. So in short, parietal lobe functions for sensory processing. Senses like hearing, touching, particularly touching. Alright, let's move on to our last lobe. What is the last lobe? There you have it. Our last lobe, the arrow points to the green colored lobe. And it is called occipital lobe. Occipital lobe. Can you say it again? Good job. Occipital lobe functions for vision. It is sight. You can see. You know what you see because of the occipital lobe. It processes visual perceptions. Visual reception and visual interpretation. It functions for sight, visual reception, and visual interpretation. That is the occipital lobe. Alright, let's try to see if you can remember, even if the short span of time, the different lobes of the cerebrum. What do you call this yellow lobe? What is this lobe? Good job. It is the parietal lobe. The purple colored lobe is parietal lobe. How about the next lobe? Let's try to see. Occipital lobe. Either of the two. Let's have this one. The yellow one is the temporal lobe. Temporal lobe. And what do you call this blue-green colored lobe? Alright, very good. It is the frontal lobe. Now everybody say again the lobes of the cerebrum. Frontal lobe, parietal lobe, occipital lobe, temporal lobe. Your turn. Well done, everyone. That's the end of our video class. Thank you all for watching and thank you all for listening. See you again on Science with Teacher Reba. Goodbye, everyone, and keep safe always.